Welcome back to Intricacies of Michelle. This episode is about my later in life friend plot twist. The show where adult friendships get the spotlight they deserve, especially the ones that show up later in life and somehow feel like they've been here forever. Today, I've got my favorite plot twist of a human, Joy. Joy, did you ever think you'd be referred to as a later in life friend plot twist?
No, definitely not. But it's Mary Michelle, right? Mary Michelle.
Well, I do what I can.
I like being the plot twist.
I know,
That part
right?
is cool, the plot twist, but the later in life, I guess we are, but doesn't mean I want to admit it. So,
Well, you're not my age. You're 10 years younger than I am, right? I mean,
yeah, 1 year younger. Yeah.
I was trying to hook you up, friend. I know you feel differently about age than I do, so I was trying to hook you up.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, I do tell everybody I'm eternally 35. So there we go.
Hey, there you go. There you go. My
Yep.
problem is if I did that, I would forget what age I said. And one day I would say
Right.
32, and the next day I would be 36, and then I might be
Right.
41. You just,
Right.
it is what
It
it,
is what it is. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, all right. So let's start with a super easy question for you, Joy.
Okay.
What did you first think of me when we met?
So I know we have different opinions on when we actually first met. I'm not as memorable as Michelle, so she doesn't remember.
That is a lie.
But we actually did cross paths at a celebration of life. Yeah. We did.
That's
We
true.
crossed paths. We didn't have a conversation. But I remember seeing you and just going, she's not from Kansas, but in a good way, because you had on this cool outfit and the green beret, and you were just walking through, working the room. And I was like, I don't know who that is, but I want to be her friend because I'm sitting here awkwardly at a table, not wanting to introduce myself to new people. And you were just like, it was no big deal, just walking through, working the room.
Well, that is so wild
So
because I actually
that
really struggle with that a lot
you
of
would never know it. You would never know it.
actually a lot of people have that same opinion of you. They never think that I'm awkward or shy, but I just freak out about going into a group of
No.
people. Like I'm in this singles group thing that I signed up for. And I love the people there. The
Uh-huh.
people who go to that are so cool and so kind. And I don't feel cool like them at all. And I'm like, what am I going to talk about? I don't like, I struggle and then I freak out and I talk myself out of going to the events. And I hope Megan hears this because she's going to be like, oh, girl, I please just come to the events. You pay for them. Why are you not attending them? But I
Uh,
I do
it
better.
is hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do better
Yeah.
on the Zoom calls that the singles group does. I hate Zoom calls honestly because I hate being on camera specifically. Like even this, I don't enjoy it. We had a Zoom call and this thing happened. It was like a speed mingle. And so the hostess got to this one question and she was like, if you could go see a concert, a show of anyone, living or dead, who would it be and who would you take with you? Well, there was another guy on the call, and he'd been on a lot of calls, that I've done through this group. He looked like he was in a different mood than normal. And so I said, look, I'm even nervous, like saying it right now. I said, I would go to see Jeff Buckley, and I would take, and I named this person's name.
Right.
This was like, that was a bold move. And I was like, okay, my filter does not exist. And so I was like, what? I was kind of stunned. I was like, um, that wasn't supposed to be any kind of bold move. That was just me like trying to cheer this person up. And
Right.
I do
Uh-huh.
actually think he's pretty cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a weird, awkward moment. And I have those. And so like here I am hours later, the next day, like worrying about what I said and if I
Overanalyze.
looked ridiculous. And I do
No.
that when I go in person. I do it before and then I do it after. And it's crazy because nobody else is giving it this much thought. Just me.
No, I promise you. And I promise you that it put a smile on his face. It probably did exactly what you intended to do, was cheer him up, and life goes on. Like
Yeah,
I what you said, I've heard the story obviously. So, but what you said
obvious.
wasn't like, it wasn't a bold move. Like I have thought, because I thought about this last night too. You
Well,
you and I are thinking about it.
right.
But
Probably the only
I
two people on the
think
planet.
that are thinking about it. But I think
Like
that hosts,
she's probably
yeah,
one of those people I want to be like her when I grow up. And it just,
uh-huh.
she's like you. I want to be like y'all when I grow up. Be
Oh
able to talk
God.
to people and, have an easy conversation without overthinking it and worrying about it. I don't know how many things I've signed up for with this group that I have actually not attended. I
Michelle.
No, check it out. Okay, I haven't told very many people this, but like I signed up for this thing. So I was in the parking lot and we left. That's what I do. I I bail out because I'm like, what if?
I do the same thing. I don't,
Yeah,
I think it takes a lot of guts. And I do think it's harder the older that you are. I do think it's harder. Like it takes a lot of guts to be vulnerable and to put yourself out there and to try new things and to meet new people. I am not a fan. So I
yeah,
admire you that
no,
you're even trying. Yeah.
yeah. See, it would be so much easier if we were together and hanging out and doing things because we
Yes,
really have the
it
same
would.
uh,
Yeah. No, yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
not like we would be competing. We would just
No.
be hanging out, doing our thing together,
Right.
but separately, sort of.
Right.
Anyway, let's talk about growth. How have you
Okay.
seen, or what have you noticed with me in the few years that you've known me as far as growth? Well, do you think I've grown?
So, I've been thinking about this a little bit more, and we had some technical difficulties, and so I do know this question is coming, and so I am really honored that I came into your life to see this massive growth, because you don't see that a lot of times. Like people don't usually take you along for the ride. Like people will show you when everything is perfect, but they don't let you in to let you come along as you're figuring it out. And I feel like I'm honored because we have both been able to do that and just say, look, I'm in a really crappy place right now, or whatever. I have noticed is that when I first met you, you were just kind of figuring out who you were as Michelle, the single mom, and figuring out what you wanted to do for a career and, just figuring out all of these things. And what I've seen is you really come into your own, because for whatever reason, which divorce often does, like I don't feel like you realize how much you have to offer and how brilliant you are, how funny you are, how anybody's life is richer just having you in it. So
Oh,
I don't feel like
I'm gonna cry.
you knew that in the I don't feel like you knew that when we first met. And it's been such an honor to see you figure this out and come into your own and become empowered. And I'm really, really proud of you. I'm really proud of you. I've seen massive growth personally, professionally, in your relationships and how you think about yourself. just everything. And that's huge. So thank you for letting me share in the middle.
Well, I think you've played a big role in that, Joy. You are encouraging and uplifting, and I'm so thankful that you've been willing to just be on this wild ride with me, because you're right. I started in a not so good place, but the start doesn't have to be the same as the finish line.
Absolutely
It's
not.
like I would expect people to grow, and I had a lot of years where I was an inactive part of my own life. I just let people
Mhm,
come up with the plan and the ideas, and I just went along because I didn't
mhm,
want to start any drama. I didn't want to sift through everyone's feelings. Go
mhm,
Aquarius. But now I'm in charge of my own decisions, and I'm handling everything. And I was a person who never really had to be responsible for the entire bag, so
mhm.
to speak. It
Yeah.
like that didn't really start for me until my divorce. I got married young, and I didn't have to be responsible for figuring out the bills and the health insurance and the all of the stuff that goes with being an adult. It wasn't that I was immature,
Mhm.
it was that I was inexperienced. And it was
Yeah.
terrifying to have to do that at my age. But I think that experience has helped me be a better mom, because I have a daughter who's about to enter adulthood, and I know that she needs to be aware and she needs to learn how to take care of these responsibilities in her
Yeah.
20s, so no one ever sideswipes her in her 40s. She
Absolutely.
knows how to take care of business and pay
Mhm,
the bills and do the things. Like, so my
mhm.
experience has molded my kids into better versions of themselves. I
I
have
100%
always,
agree.
yes, I've
Yeah.
always taught them to advocate for
Yes.
themselves. And not that my mom didn't do that.
And
My mom is an amazing advocate. And so I took that experience and rolled it into the way I teach my kids and I mother my kids. You are always welcome to stand up for yourself. I may not agree with you,
yes.
but that does
Yep.
not mean that you should remain silent. You should speak up and give me your opinion no matter what the outcome is.
Yep.
And yeah,
I think
I think growth has helped me be a better mom.
I 100% agree. And I also think whether or not you realize that you've done this, you've given them a massive gift and a lesson in resilience, because you've shown them that, okay, it may not end up the way that you thought it would, but that doesn't mean that you can't be happy and your life can't be full and you can't still achieve all of the dreams that you have. And that's a huge gift for them to see you. I imagine them talking about you like when they're getting married and talking about, all the lessons that they were taught by you that will make them, better wives and mothers and women in general. And yeah, I think that's a huge gift in all of this, is that they've witnessed it. It's not just talk, they've seen it in real life. So yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. So Joy, what is something I used to do that you think I've totally outgrown?
Well, since we're talking about what it
Relationships.
means. since we're talking about like you and what it would be to date you, I'm going to point out the biggest thing that I've seen in the way that you show up in your dating life is that you aren't taking anything personally. You know what you want, you know what you can and cannot deal with. And it's not that you're not willing to deal with some baggage or, some shortcomings, because we all have them. But what you are not willing to accept is someone that is showing up differently than what they say they're showing up as. You're not willing to let someone string you along, or boundaries, just like, I'm not doing this. And you're not taking it personally, because sometimes we beat ourselves up when something doesn't work out. It's
Yeah.
like, what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? And you have grown so much that you're realizing, like, look, we just didn't align. Doesn't mean anybody's right or wrong or bad or good. It just didn't align.
Yeah,
So
and
that's huge.
basically it does come down to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, I'm happy to be in that place where breaking something off with someone doesn't feel like a kick in the teeth.
Yeah.
Because I used to be that person who, like, what the heck? They didn't text me for, like, I texted and they didn't text me back for an hour. That's
Yeah.
a former red flag of mine. I was the needy girl, and I'm not that.
Right.
Now, if it's been a few days and I haven't heard from you, I'm going to start being like, hey, what's up?
Totally different story. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
if we're talking a week or 10 days or beyond that, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
And
thank you. And, if something comes up and you're going to be away from your phone for a week or two, like,
you're going to disappear for,
yeah, I'm not doing that.
sorry, I guess we won't expose all of the,
No, we're
all
not
of the
going to
things.
talk. We're not going to throw any particular person under the bus.
Yes. But
Um,
you have grown a lot. Yes.
yeah, but
Yeah.
because there was a reason that, I liked that person, but I
Mm-hmm.
also knew that that wasn't aligning with my soul and my
Right.
needs, because
Wasn't a good
I don't,
long-term fit.
yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to beg you to be around me. If we're not aligned enough for you to want to reach out and want to spend time with me, then
Yep.
it's not the right thing. And there's
Yeah.
no sense in spending time and energy on something that isn't going to work.
Yep.
And I'm a lot quicker now to realize these things,
The biggest growth factor in all of that is that see it and recognize a pattern, but not take it personally. And
Yeah,
so I think that goes back to you just being more secure in who you are and what you have to offer, you know?
I agree.
So yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that.
because I created a new love language for you.
Oh,
Um,
oh, I'm special. I need my own
you're
people that nobody
special.
else has.
You are special.
Okay, Joy, lay it on us. What?
Okay. So when you are expressing love to other people, if we're talking about the typical love languages, when you are expressing love to other people, you are the most thoughtful person when it comes to just little gifts, little things that mean so much in that moment. That's something I really admire, because I don't have that skill. I don't have that skill at all. But I love that you have that, where you're not asking someone, hey, do you need this or do you need that? You can recognize, hey, this person needs this. You always have this way of just recognizing a need, and then some little gesture of kindness or whatever that really means so much in that moment. So I see that, both in, and maybe it's because we're long distance, but words of affirmation, and those gifts, those are both things that I'm not great at, that you really excel at. But I've decided to create a new love language. And if you are expressing love to Michelle, her number one love language is follow through. So if you say you're going to do something, you better do it.
Oh man. That's that is
But
not a
tell me, am I
lie.
wrong? Like the
You're
biggest
not.
thing, like it's
Yeah.
just follow through.
Yeah. Like if we're planning a trip and you're supposed to
Yeah.
book your plane
And all the
ticket,
other stuff is
my
icing on
God, you
cake.
better get that damn plane ticket booked because I need to put those deets on my spreadsheet, girl.
Oh man.
Yes, she'll be all right.
I'll be okay. I can handle it. It would be different if it wasn't true, but it's true.
Oh my gosh. Just called her out, didn't I? Uh that's not a lie. I do like follow through, and it's not just about the trips that I was giving you a hard time about.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, if you say you're going to do it, show up.
actually do it. You know, if something comes up, communicate that something came up, but you're looking forward to your next conversation. I don't think
Yeah.
that's too much to ask. I really don't.
But I think, gosh, there are not very many people who are good at that, to be honest.
Yeah, and I
And
don't know.
it's not like it may irritate me when people don't follow through, but if I waited on people to follow through, I would be waiting a long time because
Hmm.
people are busy. People
Hmm.
have families, people have, schedules, people have work. And I get that. And I know that you're aware I started this girlfriend meetup thing, this monthly
Yeah.
coffee meetup.
Hmm.
And this is one of those examples. Like, if you RSVP and tell me you're going to be there, like, I'm counting on you to be there. So, the
Hmm.
one I did one this month and I held it on Valentine's Day. And I ordered a bunch of roses and I took them to hand out. And I thought I was going to have
Uh-huh.
closer to, like, I don't know, closer to 15 or 20 people. And
Uh-huh.
it's not a big deal that that many didn't show up, but like
Uh-huh.
I had that many flowers
Right.
because
That's
I
all
thought that many were going to show up. And it's just a planning thing. And but people who were at Dapper Owl were pleasantly surprised because I gave away flowers to people. I
there
just
you go.
walked around and handed them out to people.
Here's one thing I want to point out too that I have learned over the years is that so to a lot of people, maybe you wake up and you're not feeling it and you decide it's no big deal or whatever.
Right.
What people don't realize is that you're the person that has put in thought and effort, and there's most likely going to be something special planned for you. So at least communicate, I'm not going to make it this time. And just simple things like that. Like if I was hosting it and somebody didn't show up, I would be winging it. Everybody would be coming and I'd be like, oh, let's order some coffee. I would just I wouldn't have gotten flowers and prepared all of that. I wouldn't have done all that. So it would be no big deal if somebody didn't show up. But
Yeah.
you're the person that's put in all the effort. And so it does mean something. It changes things. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And, I've opened these up, of course, to the public and
Mm-hmm.
told people to share. And many of the people, I'm not discounting the people who were like, yeah, it's a maybe, or, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm not upset with people who didn't get around to letting me know that they couldn't come. It's just that's how my brain works. I'm like, okay, I need to plan for 20 just in case, because what if 20 show up? I don't expect 20 to show up, but what if
Right.
in the slim chance they do show
Right.
up? I want to be prepared. And,
Yeah.
it worked out. It was fine. My biggest red flag is caring too much, you know. And some would say
That's not,
that
yeah.
that I was too mothery, which I'm really working on that red flag. Like, I think that's maybe a former red flag.
You're very nurturing, but who doesn't like that? That's not
Well,
mother nurture to nurture someone.
so apparently, and this may be a recent thing, I don't know, but I keep
Mhm.
seeing like these videos like TikToks and reels and stuff that are like things to absolutely not do until you're married. And I was like, oh gosh, I've done all of that. And I guess it did kind of backfire. They're like, if you're cooking for them and you're baking for them and you're, planning meals and like it has all these lists. I don't even remember what
Crazy to me.
but
That's
but
just
I was
crazy.
like, oh, basically the TikToks are saying you don't have to prove yourself as a wife. Like, don't do
But you're
it.
not doing it to prove yourself, you're doing it to show that you care. You're doing it
Actually,
just
with the person that I was baking for and like cooking for, it was
Mhm.
because that person eats a lot later than I do.
uh
And I don't like having a conversation at 7 o'clock at night. Like, where are we going to go eat? What are we going to eat?
uh
Are we going to fix
yeah.
something? And then we have to figure out the plan at 7 o'clock
Ugh.
at night.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't, I can't do that because one,
Yeah.
I don't want to cook at that hour. And two,
Mhm.
if we start talking about dinner at 7 o'clock at night, we're not eating until 8 or 8:30.
Yeah. People could interpret it that way, but I don't know. I hate all that. And the
I
rules,
know.
are you talking? Are you dating? Are
Oh,
you
yeah.
exclusive? Are you boyfriend and girlfriend? Are you what? All of
Please
that stuff is
let's
so stupid.
let's have a
Ugh.
discussion about that.
Okay.
Because that is a hot point with me.
Ugh.
I've talked about this already on this new on Intricacies of Michelle.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not in this to not put a label on it. Do not
Right.
even come to me. Do not even start a conversation with me.
If you're
If
not
we're going
serious
to
about
be a month or 2 or 3 or 6 or 2 years into it, and you're like, I'm not a guy who puts a label on it. What?
run. Yeah.
You should be grown. And if you're
Yes.
not in a place where you can put a label on something with a good woman, then entirely, that is entirely a you problem.
Yes. And I
Entirely.
think
So go
those
fix
people
yourself and then go back into the dating world. And don't
right.
cross my path because I am going to verbally slay you.
Yes.
I'm going
And
to
I
do
think
it just because I can at that point.
at that point.
Yeah.
And I think that those people should stick to those things where you're swiping to hook up and have a good time. Like, don't pretend like you're
Go
trying to
on
date
and
because
Tinder
you're,
yourself to
yep,
death there.
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think for a long time, I just was like, I'm so happy that somebody's talking to me that I would just, again, I would take whatever was handed to me because
Breadcrumbs.
I didn't think I was worthy of more. I
Yeah.
really didn't think I was worthy of more. But
Yeah.
you know what, guys? You better watch out because I'm worthy of all that and more.
No
And
more breadcrumbs.
and I'm not going to stick around to find out if you've got yourself figured out.
Right.
If you don't come to me with most of your shit figured out
Yeah.
by this age, then peace. And
Yeah.
please don't think that I'm sitting around feeling sorry for myself, thinking you're the one and I'm missing out because we're not there anymore.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to do it.
I
And
love
yeah,
it.
it's so wild. I don't know. I got
Yeah.
myself way off track there and I turned into
Which happens with us. It
a,
happens.
a chaotic chat about randomness and the squirrels I may have mentioned before. But but yeah. So let's soften this up a little bit. I got on my little soapbox and yeah, okay. So
I have
Julie,
a little funny about your warning label if you came with a warning label.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But yes.
Yeah. This
What's my warning
conversation made me
label?
think of it. So if Michelle had a warning label, it would say warning, direct communication ahead. Like, not the, and it's like, you don't ever have to question, where you stand with Michelle. Like, you know, she's an open book. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm. So if you're someone that needs to have, you know, needs to have little hints, and that's not Michelle, that's your warning later label. Direct communication ahead.
If yeah. Like, yeah, if you need to be, and I love this little old lady term, if you need to be mollycoddled, I ain't the one. Love
Yep.
you later. Bye.
Best of luck.
Yes. Like, I am not for weak men. I'm
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yep.
It's, and I honestly, I don't do that on purpose. It's just, I'm not. I don't need to be controlled. I don't want to control you.
Right.
I'm just not, I'm not for the faint of heart. I'm not.
I think that when you walk into a room, your presence is felt, and the right people will appreciate you exactly as you are. And there is zero reason for you ever to shrink yourself for someone who can't handle direct communication.
I think that's fair and that's honest. Joy, if you were going to pick three words to describe me, what do you think those words would be? And I'm bracing myself. These could be kind, y'all, or they could be like Joy's like, no, I'm gonna lay it flat for you, girl.
No, I don't have anything unkind to say. So I would say some of these words are not very romantic, but when you get older, you realize how important they are. So the number one thing that I would say the word either reliability or dependability, something along those lines. Like Michelle's the person you want in your corner when shit hits the fan, because she's not a I'm your ride or die by label. She's doing it. And so I think that trait is missing a lot. And I love that you have it. Like when you let somebody in and someone is considered, you know, you're a loved one of yours, like you will go to the ends of the earth to protect them, to make sure they're okay, to cheer them up, to make sure that they're eating, to make sure that they're hydrated. So the next one would be, well, creative. Whatever it is that you're doing, you always put a creative spin on things, which I love. It's never boring, it's never monotonous. You're never going to get beige with Michelle. Like however you want to apply that in your life, you're never going to get beige. Your life will be colorful and adventurous and happy and all of those things. And then the third one would be you have a growth mindset.
Yeah.
I think growth mindset is huge.
I think we can add those terms to my LinkedIn profile, like my headline.
I think so.
Keeping it real. Dependable, growth minded, all the things.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. When you're over 40, people are very fixed. Like, this is the way I do things. This is the way it is. This is what you're open to exploring what things could be, what it could look like. And that growth mindset of just always trying to be the best version of yourself, I love. And those are the rare people that you want to keep around you. Yeah.
Yeah. One last little round here before we close, Joy. It's two questions.
Okay.
What do you think I need to hear more often? And what do you hope that I never forget about myself?
Ooh, these both go hand in hand. Is that I think that you need to hear that just how incredible you are, and never to shrink yourself to make somebody else comfortable. And I've so enjoyed seeing you come in to that empowered version of yourself. I hope that you never lose that. Not to say that you aren't willing to compromise or whatever, but I just really hope that you never lose, and that you always hear how magical and amazing and just loving, kind, amazing person that you are.
Thank you.
It's a love fest.
We love sharing the love and hearing that the love is shared.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I love that, and I just love you to pieces, and I'm thankful that you're doing this with me and you're willing to jump on and have a conversation in public.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like 5 years. Gosh, I feel like I fit as much as I possibly can into the last 5 or 6 years, and just having you along on the ride, being my support and saying, okay, it's okay. And me telling you the same stories 1,000 times and sending you a million reels. I'm like, oh, here's another one. This is so us. I see
Yes.
those things. It's just a lifetime, and I'm happy that I've got you there to be my support and say, okay, you've got this, keep going.
Me
But
too. I'm
anyway,
thankful for that.
yeah.
Mm.
So, all right, listeners, go text your later in life friend and tell them how amazing they are, because it's important. It's important. We're adulting and we don't hear how wonderful we are enough. So, go thank them. Tell them how much you appreciate and love them. And thank you for listening. I appreciate y'all. And hello to my listeners in County Meath, Ireland. Be proud. I think I said that right. I know it's not
That's amazing.
Meath, it's County Meath, I believe. And if you are those listeners there, drop me a DM at Intricacies of Michelle. I would love to hear from you. I'll give you a shout out. I'm kind of wondering if you're that bus driver that we missed each other when I was in Ireland last summer. And if that's you, you should be dropping me a DM so we can talk about how that didn't work out and if I should come to Ireland again. Or if I
We're
should
going to
take
Scotland.
it and just go to Scotland. Yeah, maybe
Yes.
I should just do that. I was jilted by the very good looking bus driver guy. And anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll talk again soon. Tuesday mornings, the hot place to be is listening to my new podcast. 7
Ooh.
a.m. Central Times. Be there or be square. Bye, guys.